Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ohio State at the Voice of College Football. I'm your host, Garrison Gaddy, here for the call-in show. Our guy Ryan Stales will not be here today, but to be honest, I do kind of owe him one because he has taken over for me for a couple times here. So please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel as you come in. Of course, if you would like to become a member, please press the join button that you'll see right under the screen here. There you'll see our tiers, the first one being the Blocko Club, then moving up to the JT wasn't short, and we all know he wasn't. Finishing off that we don't give a damn, and you know the rest. So, but first, I'll shout out to all of our members that have built this here for like the last few months now. I think we dropped memberships 3 months ago or so now, and it's fluctuated, but we know over the next few months here, hoping to get more content to you guys that will specifically be for you, especially in this upcoming season. I will be putting the chat in here, putting the stream here shortly for the call-in show. If you would like to, just go ahead and comment right now, and I'll put it in there right now. But just want to go over a few things that caught my eye. So on Slay Carpenter and Bobby Carpenter's podcast, Coach Locke was on there. I just saw this, and I thought this was really cool, something I wanted to mention because I really do love Coach Locke. He talked about how, like, what brought him to Ohio State, what makes Columbus special to him. And in there, I want to pull this specific quote up. He said, even with the pressure and what comes with it, there's nothing better than Columbus. And I thought that was really cool because, it's not easy to coach at Ohio State. It's a taxing job. A lot. I got to move this. A lot of people, what's going on, Rod? See you in here. I got Rod Farber. Good to see you, brother. And B-Dub, see you here. Blue Wolverine, good to see you here too. Glad to have you guys. But, it was really cool to see that, not just the head coach, but it's also the position coach who's coming out here saying, look, man, we know what comes with this. We know it's not easy. He talked about how he loves the fans here, the Ohio State fans, and going through the city when you hear OH and yelling back IO. But he also does understand the passion, and he talked about that. And, the Buckeye fan base has a lot of passion. We all know that. Kirk Herbstreit famously called a portion of our fan base the lunatic fringe last year during the 2024 season. But I thought that was really cool, man. I'm really happy that he said that. Coach Locke, when we hired him, I got to learn more about him. I saw some of the clips. I think that he is a culture hire. He's worked his way up from Memphis, man. Worked his way to Oregon. Now he's gotten to Ohio State. He said he doesn't want to leave Ohio State. He told Coach Ryan Day that he plans on being here forever, and I would have no problem with that. Seeing the way that he recruits. Got guys like Bo Jackson, got guys like Turbo Rogers in this recent class. We're going to talk about recruiting here unless someone wants to call in. But talking about Favorite Key, who I think is a very underrated running back. Really good player, can do almost anything you need him to do. Really strong. But but I'm going to go ahead and share the link right here for everybody if you would like to call in. Again, it's anything you guys want to talk about. Again, at some point, everybody, I get tired of hearing my voice. I truly do. Blue Wolverine's a Michigan fan, so I'm sure he gets tired of hearing my voice no matter what. But yeah, the link's right there if you like to call in. And right here, Rod says Locke was an upgrade for sure. He was. And it's not that. Oh man, what's Milk Dud's name? I forgot all running backs coach. He's been so far. Holy crap! I literally just forgot all about the guy. But no, he is an upgrade. And I think where specifically where he's an upgrade is that first off rotations. Alfred. Um, he's better at rotations. Recruiting wise, I think they're pretty equal. I mean, Tony Alford was a very good recruiter. I'm not gonna say is he gonna miss out on some guys? Yeah. Does he put all of his eggs in a couple baskets? Sure, but he was a really good coach. But it's not easy trying to find an upgrade, especially at a position like running back. It's an instinctual position. Yeah, you can teach some skill sets there, but it's very instinctual. It's something that you just had to have in your blood. Like it's something that you're just good at. Like my dad, he grew up playing running back, high school up in Ottawa Hills in Grants, Michigan, and then I would watch learn from him. Watched a lot of Maurice Clarett my first year ever playing football, and that's how I learned to play running back. And it just came to me. So, but it's really cool though when you see something like a running back coach and you see the complete, not complete, but you see the difference between the two. You can see where you upgraded. Let me see. What you say, Rod? No, Garrison Tony's recruiting dropped off big time. To an extent, right? I mean, let me think about this. To an extent, I mean, you still got Trey. You're still able to bring in. Yeah, you were. I mean, I don't know how much. I don't actually. I want to know how much he was involved in Judkins. I don't know if he was involved too much then, because but Judkins did. Judkins did join Ohio State right when Michigan. He might have been gone before that. So yeah, Rod. That's Rod. That's fair. That's fair to say that his recruiting kind of dropped off. Again, like my biggest thing, my biggest problem with him no matter what, was just his rotations. I thought he was completely terrible at them, and I don't think that. There's just times, man, when Tony just didn't do the right thing, and I do think that it caused our running backs to suffer some injuries during that time. But also, a few things I wanted to talk about, you guys. So we did have a commitment. Aaron Thomas, 3-star offensive tackle, 6'7", 300 pounds from Phoenix, Arizona. He commits to Ohio State yesterday. Has a lot of potential here. I'll show you guys him real quick. A lot of potential here. I think that he's one of those players that once you get him in the room, you work with him. You get a kid that's 6'7", 300 pounds, man. After that, it's just about technique. Dan, I'll get you up here soon, bud. It's about technique, right? And he does train with LaCharles Bentley, All-American, All-Pro, Buckeye, one of the greatest Ohio State players of all time. So that is something that we have, something on the radar that we have, something that is good. You like seeing it. But we have a caller here. So I'm gonna bring up our guy Dan. Oh, whoa, it's blocking you off here, bud. There we go, Dan. How you doing? Actually, Dan.
Hey, Garrison, it's been a while. What's been going on?
I was gonna say when I saw, I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Nothing too shabby. Just kind of feeling good for the Buckeyes. At the same time, honestly, college football doesn't feel the way I like specifically, can say it has.
Why is that?
Because I'm like, with all the NCAA's rules and how their coaching staffs and all that are particular about, rules and stuff, regulations, and with the recruits, it's like they gotta do certain things, and it's a pain in the ass. And I'm sorry, it's just.
What do you mean specifically? Like, do you mean recruiting?
So I have friends that play high school football, including myself.
Okay.
From a D2 school here in South Central Ohio, and we come from small high schools that have roller games that have bad blood. In hell, I'd say probably, either you left with your skin intact, or you got no dog fight in the county sheriff's office, didn't get involved in the brawls, because you're two hated schools that don't like each other, that say, you're the two most dominant, but you only know that one of y'all is the most dominant that goes to a state championship. Colleges like Ohio State, even that scum team from up north, Georgia, Alabama, Oregon. They don't want kids that come from them schools because they feel like these kids got bad attitude or they don't feel fit their
You
system
you
right.
you 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 think that?
Honestly, I was telling Mark Rogers, and he's like saying I'm creating a conspiracy when I know,
No,
and I've been.
last year, some of the best players in Ohio went out of the state.
But here's the thing, Garrison. I'm talking about the kids that colleges won't even go after because they feel like they either have attitude issues or they feel like they're uncoachable or they're uncontrollable. And it's like, what the hell is college football now? They're particular about a person's, genuineness, or do they just got a problem, stuck up their, rear end? And it's like,
I don't know.
you know,
I don't see this problem because I look around the greater landscape of college football, and you said from you said from where in Ohio? Are you
South,
specifically talking about?
I'm
So
talking
give me the
South
cities that.
Central.
So give me the schools in that area.
Give me like if you've been to Ohio, you would know where I'm talking about. But like Washington Courthouse, Ohio, Mount Sterling, Ohio, London, Ohio, like West
Are these
Jefferson.
small? These are the smaller schools.
Like country kid high schools. Like a bunch of farm boys, like construction. Guys that may work on a hog farm. I grew up with these kids,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, okay, well, we have rivalry games that end up in a bloody fight. Okay, so what? Our attitude might seem a little unusual, but y'all can't just judge us just because, we got a little mean streak and we're a little rowdy, of course. But we're
You
playing
think
old school. We're playing old school
you think
football.
they're judging you? You think people? Wait, okay, one second. You think that you think that in college football, people are going around specifically in from where you're from. You think other colleges, other universities, other programs are looking at that area and saying that they don't believe you guys have the right attitude. You guys like I don't know because I would feel like um I don't know if that's a thing, man. I don't know if that's a thing. I really don't. And
No,
I
because
don't think it.
no, because here's the thing. I talked to Leanne about this, and she's like, it can be certain problems to certain programs. And I'm like, well, it isn't our fault for having, for doing the things that we do. Okay, we may walk, we may
What do
walk.
you mean? What do you mean by doing the things that we do? What do you do?
So, like, like we may walk like very sternly, like not feel like we have any like sarcasm. Sometimes people walk so like stern, like a giant, and they may not have like a laugh in their soul, or like they don't have a soul. But at the same time, maybe this person just is the way that they are because they don't like people trying to screw around with them. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
So let me get
go ahead.
let me give you an example of someone I know who's been rejected by D1 colleges, including Ole Miss. His name is Luke Mason, former defensive end for Madison Plains High School. The dude was an absolute beast. 6'3", about 230 pounds. And I mean, this dude could sack a quarterback within 4 seconds. 4.5 seconds.
That's not a lot. That's
And
not good.
not even that, it's just his speed. Like his speed was unbelievable. But it's
No,
mainly is how
Well, you said he sacks a quarterback within 4 to 5 seconds. The
not
quarterback
even
usually
4
has
to
the
5.
ball gone. No, the quarterback usually has the ball gone by then, bro.
Not even like 4 or 5 seconds, but like at least like not even whatever the rate is. And I'm sorry, it's been a while since I played the game, but it's like, but the bottom line is, it's like 21 schools, and he's like, I'm only here to play college football if I have the opportunity. It's because I ain't here for the money. I'm not here to make, I'm not here to do certain things. I'm here because I want to make an impact, but also understand I'm here to make people pay the price. When they walk into the, for example, he said, I quote, when they walk into Ohio Stadium, I'm going to whoop their ass because they keep talking shit. And quote. And it's like, okay, well, this guy's just got a motive. If you talk shit about Ohio State online, or your team likes to talk shit, he takes that personally. He's like, all right, I'm going to whoop your ass because you talk shit about my college. He's even said it about University of Michigan fans. And hell, even I was on the phone with someone I had the opportunity to play football with. Corey Wimbrick, number 21 of the Fairbanks Panthers, Fairbanks High School out of Milford Center, Ohio.
Okay.
And he said the only reason I played the game of college football is to be that one guy on the team that made a huge impact, but also forget about NIL and forget about the shit that goes with it. He's like, but at the same time, I'm here to hurt wide receivers. I'm here to hurt tight ends. You get in my lane, I'm going to knock your ass out. I mean, talk about a guy who I know personally who's knocked out punters in his career. I've seen him knock out punters. So
I mean, look, man.
What's the problem? What's the problem with us having motives to be saying we ain't here because we're not here for the money. We're not here for these certain reasons. We're here for three things: a championship, make this program or this college football team the one team you don't talk shit about for a year or not even 4 years. Because if you do, your team's going to end up in a fucking hospital. So I don't know what the hell people have a problem with about that, and I'm sorry, Garrison, but it's just maybe us, just old farm kids that just feel the way that we are, and I can say personally, as someone who's played with some of these guys and trained with these guys, I'm sorry, we're just that way.
Well, I mean, this is what I'll say. I'm gonna say, I'll say this, and I gotta get to the next caller, Dan. But this is what I'll say about it. So I'm from an area called Caledonia, okay, up in
Caledonia, Ohio.
No, I'm from West Michigan. I'm from Caledonia, Michigan. And in there, I played a lot of schools that are farm boys, right? Now, I can sit here and tell you, and I think Blue Wolverine will understand this. Whoever Stallions Express, I'm sure he's a Wolverine fan. He would understand this. My guy Juju, he's a Wolverine fan. He's in the call right here. He's gonna understand this too. The state of Michigan doesn't really go. I mean, the University of Michigan, even Michigan State, they don't go after a lot of farm kids. And here's the truth of the matter. And it's not that you can't get kids out of those areas that are good at football. That's not what I'm saying here. But I can sit here and tell you, as someone who has played college football, that when I went up against a lot of those guys, it's different. And it's not that they can't play the game, but there were farm boys that were bigger than me. There were farm boys that were stronger than me. Hell, you might even find one that was faster than me. They weren't a better football player than I was. And so at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, the emotion matters. And you want to bring in guys that care about the program, right? And they love the program. I understand that.
But also,
hold one second. But it's not that. I'm gonna say this, but then I gotta move on. But I don't think they have anything against you guys. You think they have anything more against you guys than they have against kids in the inner city? They don't, bro. And and I'm not even from the inner city, bro. I'm from the suburbs, and I can sit here and tell you I've seen a lot of dope athletes out of where I'm from in West Michigan not go anywhere after that. There was a guy in my city named John Henry. Was the quarterback at East Kent. I actually saw him beat Devin Gardner in high school in football. He was a quarterback. Ran wasn't really a quarterback. He played corner in college, but he was a quarterback in high school. Ran a 10-5 100-meter dash. He only went to Western. So like I don't think it has anything to do with that, bro. I think it's just sometimes you're looking for the best player, but I do appreciate your call, Dan. And listen,
I'm gonna let you get to these other guys because Mark Rogers gonna kick my ass if I keep ranting on about this shit. But
you're fine, man. But you have a good night, man. You have a good weekend, all right?
Y'all take it easy.
Thank you, man. All right. All right. Let's bring up my guy Juju, man. Well, Juju, what's going on, bro?
It was good, bro. Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. I was laughing like I couldn't hold my laugh, bro. That was going on a huge rant.
No, it took about 5 minutes before I got to where I knew what we were talking about here. But no, like I don't know. I don't feel like I don't feel like in recruiting, people are like shying away from kids and if you listen, bro. And if you have talent, dude, you know this. If you have talent, someone's gonna find you. They're gonna find you.
Yeah.
Like that's all that matters.
I mean, a lot of these top schools, I mean, like Ohio State, like a Michigan, like a Georgia and a Texas, I trust the evaluations.
Mm-hmm.
Like they offer, depending on like positions. Obviously, a wide receiver, I'm trusting OSU. If he's got an OSU offer, I don't care what he's ranked. I trust that. Just like you can say O-line for Michigan. It's just different like narratives. So, I mean, but you're right. I was listening earlier. Like we don't recruit farm kids, right?
No,
we never really have.
I was like Desmond Morgan, okay. West Catholic High School, no, West Ottawa High School, about 10 minutes from where I live right now, okay, bro. Like,
yeah, I know.
Like Desmond was a good football player. He's a good, but some places just don't produce talent like that. And
there's levels to this shit.
Yeah, in the state of Michigan, I can say this as someone that played football in this state. We don't produce talent like that.
We don't. We don't.
So what's up, bro?
Shit, I hop on here, bro. I mean, not really much news today at all.
Yeah, we're for Ohio State. I mean, yeah, we got Aaron Thomas yesterday. Today we're gonna find out. Max Sutter, top 10 tight end. I'm actually doing a watch party with Jackson Johnson later tonight and a few other people, and watch that. There's a really good chance Ohio State's not gonna get him. If I had to pick, it's gonna be Bama. Then I have the list right here tomorrow.
Bro, did y'all just get lagered by SMU, bro?
That was all NIL, bro.
Damn.
That kid wanted some money that we ain't gonna pay him.
I mean, hey, look, can't win them all, bro.
Bro, no, but first off, shout out to Steve Wilfong for being dead ass wrong for the last 3 days.
Oh my god, bro, I ain't gonna lie, he's been fucking y'all lately.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. That guy must be a witch doctor. He is screwing us right now.
Damn, I ain't hold on. Bro, Bama just got EJ. Damn, that's a big win.
They got who?
Xavier Crowell.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they just did.
Oh.
That's a big win. Damn. We've been kicking their ass on the recruiting trail, bro. Our foot has been on their neck on and off.
You guys been doing pretty good. But yeah, we'll find out about KJ Ford tomorrow. Find out about it's a late push for us though. and here's the problem, right?
He's better than Wayful, bro.
Yeah, he is. But here's the problem, right? So I'm not sure what's gonna happen with the D-line recruiting right now. You got KJ Ford also battling Texas. Mind you, Texas has 5 defensive linemen in their class already. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna squeeze another one. There's no
Bro,
shot.
like him, Damari Simeon, who else? Xavier Griffin.
Deuce Gerald's, I thought at a point was y'all a lock, but he's not even looking like, bro. He literally came out and said that Michigan was one of his best visits, like recently.
Yeah,
like I don't think we could fit him in our class.
I don't think we're getting Deuce. I think LSU is gonna get him.
We can't fit him in our class.
Yeah, PJ Dean, he got too small. We can't. We took him off the list.
Yeah,
he was 255, dropped down like 220, 215.
What? For what? You want to be an edge?
It must be, but that's not why we need him.
No shot. Y'all need DTs.
So it's gonna be interesting, man. I mean, Xavier Griffin, that's battling. He's a linebacker edge type of player on top, but I don't know. We're facing Texas for that. So like,
I mean, we heated recruiting battles with Texas. Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State, all recruiting cycle.
Hey, like I was talking to some Wolverine fan yesterday, bro.
They recruiting.
And they said, "Oh man,
they're not done either."
They said, "Watch at the end of the year, I bet our class is better than Notre Dame's." I was like, "I don't think so." That class is insane. That at top to bottom right now, I would say after USC, I would say that's the best class right now. I think they're ranked 4th right now, of course, but
I'm not honestly. If you want me to be honest, bro, USC's class is good, but it's not. I don't think it's the best.
It screams desperate.
They're taking like fucking 13 projects in that class. Like, what are we doing? Y'all are fronting this cash, which, I mean, get it how you live, but you're fronting this cash. We all know you're fronting this cash. We all know how the GM works. He was with Michigan. He was with Notre Dame. And after he stabbed fucking Freeman in his back and then walks away to USC. Like, we know what you're doing, bro. He's been like a cheese ball everywhere he's been. Now they're fronting cash because they have to.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest reasons they had to is because Lincoln Riley, a few years ago, he
he's cooked after this year. If you don't play,
he said something about California players while he was at Oklahoma.
Yeah,
like just dogged them.
Yeah,
and so I gotta believe, bro, you gotta pay out the arse. Like,
yeah,
who says? Bro,
that boy disrespected all.
I don't like, because even if you're at Oklahoma, right? You still gotta imagine you're recruiting kids out of California every year. What big time program does it? So I don't know why he did that. So it makes sense now that the boosters are trying to take advantage or take control of the situation. Yeah, you know, when you put it that way, I think Notre Dame might have the best class right now. I like their class.
Yeah, I mean, I think the class is gonna stick this year too. So it's a long way.
What do you think you guys finish at? What do you think you guys are gonna finish at?
Well, look, I'm not gonna say everything
because there's a lot
that can't be said.
Well, look,
but like, without naming any names, I think we're gonna finish in the 8 to 6 range.
Okay.
Like, and I think if we pull off a couple flips at the end, I think we'll be top 5. But we have to pull up a couple flips. If we get all the guys on the board, not naming any names, I know the name, but I'm not gonna name it. If we get all the guys on the board, we'll be sitting pretty, like for top 8, 7 range. But I mean, we're gonna have to get a flip at the end of the cycle. And I'm circling one particular ND kid that I hope we can flip. That I hope he doesn't shut his recruitment down.
Because earlier yesterday, you guys were ranked 15th. Now you're down to 17th. But I mean, that's still that's a big jump from what you guys were like 36 or something like that yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, Garrison, we're gonna be in the top 7 from now to mid-July. Like, we're about to go on a run.
And like looking at it, I mean, you guys average is a 90.8 right now. Only LSU has a higher ranking ahead of you guys until you get. I'm looking right now. Only everyone in the top 10, everybody in the top 5 has a higher rating, but you guys have a higher average than Florida State, higher average than Penn State, higher average than Florida, higher average than Clemson. So
that number is probably going to be around, finish wise, it's going to be around 92 again. In my opinion, it's going to be around.
You think
92.
so?
Yeah. Listen, the kids. If we land the kids,
that means you need some 5 stars in this class. That means you need some, or at least doggone near.
Well, look, there's 2 that I'm real confident about. So
Yeah.
we land those 2. We're sitting real pretty. I think it's gonna land around the 92 mark. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't think anyone is ready for little old Ron Bellamy to have a top 3 wide receiver class.
Let's talk about him real quick.
Sheesh, that
so,
boy recruiting.
Against Jaden Pyle, who what's funny is
That kid's good, bro.
I have watched his tape. I do like him too. But what's funny is that like I was talking to TJ about this. I try to sometimes temper what I say about Michigan's recruiting class because I've gotten to talk to the kid already. He's followed me on Twitter. So,
Yeah.
So I'm just like, man, I'm like, doggone it, man. But no, but
now
you get
can't
him.
say shit.
I really can't. I'm only listen, man. I'm a fan of Jaden Pyle. He's a good kid, a good young man. But then you guys get who's the receiver? You got Robinson. Now,
that kid's good.
I'm not sure if I told you, but I think he's a better prospect than Marsh.
Yeah, I remember you were talking in the chat, and look, like I said, I don't think he's not even gonna be the last one. Like there's some really good ones, and I can't even believe that we're pulling off, and we haven't even produced on the field yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's like hats off to Ron Bellamy, bro, and our NIL and.
No, if y'all get a top 10 receiver, I'm leaving the app for a day.
Bro,
I'm not gonna be there watching.
We got one last cycle.
Yeah, but that's different. Like,
you mean like a top 5 receiver?
Yeah, like I'm leaving the app.
You might leave a day, or you might leave for a day.
I'm leaving. I just simply because I don't care to hear you guys like just rub yourselves off. Like I don't have time.
The narratives are gonna be. Look, y'all. We will be comparing our wide receiver class to your guys's. That's how bad. That's how bad.
That's how bad. That's how. Listen, this is when we were talking about it. This is narrative time. This is it's time to push all the propaganda. But I'm not gonna sit here and let you guys get that off while we have a 6'6", 205-pound wide receiver.
Put this in perspective, Garrison. This man, Ron Bellamy, is going to close. I'm very confident he's going to close a class where he has a better recruiting class than our fucking linebacker coach. Make sense.
That's impressive.
How are we struggling at linebacker but not at wide receiver right now?
Who is your linebacker coach?
Brian Jean-Marie.
Oh, yeah.
Was once to be – he's like our Larry Johnson without reaching the ceiling of Larry Johnson.
That's tough.
Like, he was a good recruiter, and I don't know what's going on. Like, but shit is.
I mean, he is recruiting at Michigan.
Like, but what? Like, we should be able to get a linebacker. Our defense has been historically good over the last 10 years.
Yeah, but
like, what are we talking about?
Has it been that good? I mean,
even under Don Brown, it was good until it wasn't.
Because you get the blitz.
Yeah, because his scheme is done. He got no problem getting talent. He was the problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
He was the problem, bro. There should be no reason why we can't get linebackers, bro. And our starting linebackers were both transfers this year. It's embarrassing, bro.
Well, shoot, bro. I'm gonna bring up Jackson here in a little bit. Do you have anything on your mind, bro? Anything you want to leave us with?
Nah. Other than hydrate with Henny, bro. Hydrate with Henny, and hit the gym.
Bro, it is 100. It's like what 90 outside. Anybody hydrating with Henny?
Hey, look, Garrison. I drank. Well, I went to the gym and then drank right after.
Yeah. Hey, we would say anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Drink Henny, bro. That's all I got to say. Go fucking.
Oh man. Oh man, that's funny. All right, bro. I'll talk to you soon, man. I'm sure I'll see you here in a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'll be on the other show if you're gonna be there.
All right, see you, brother.
Yep.
Well, everybody, before we continue, quick message here from the voice of college football. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the voice of college football. Let's discuss how you also can reach your target market. Check out the experience of one of our current partners, that being Win Agency, posted here on the screen, and we are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships at bocfb.com. Again, that's sponsorships at bocfb.com today. Let's bring up Jude, you're still here? Me and my boy Jax. What's going on, man? How you doing?
It's going pretty good. Just getting some things rocking and rolling over these next few hours. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
It's burning hot in Michigan right now, man. It feels like I live in Alabama. It's terrible.
Oh, I know, right? Like that Bama heat is nuts.
What's the
like,
heat? What's the temp down there right now?
It's enough for me to like get to a point where I'm not going out at all. Like I'm staying in most of the time.
No, I tried to get some get some of my color back on my skin the other day, and I got outside for like 10 minutes, and I said, "Oh my god, I gotta go back inside." I was cooking out there.
I mean, like I'll go outside to make sure I get a tan, because I'm gonna have to make sure I do that at some point. Because I mean, like this is like the one job where you can get a tan and you don't get in trouble with your boss over that.
Good point. So what's going on, man?
Oh, I saw last night about Thomas, Aaron Thomas. I said Chase for a moment. Aaron Thomas. I saw that last night as I was watching On the Move with Leanne and Mark. I was like, this is a big win for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Our buddy Garris is definitely happy about this.
Yeah, I am. Aaron Thomas, man. We talked about earlier, 3-star kid. A lot of potential, man. 6'7", 300 pounds. Trained by Charles Bentley, Ohio State legend, All-American, Pro Bowler in the NFL. So I think that he's a project type of kid, but I do believe that with the right training, he could be a 2-year starter for Ohio State, really good player. Again, I think that he is very, very good. And Jackson actually saw it. Are you able to put those in here?
Yeah. I put in the YouTube link in the private chat for you to tell the people about what you got going on.
Oh no, buddy, hold up a second. Go ahead. You let him know. Hold up.
Yeah.
Nobody do it like you do, Jackson. Hold up, pause. But
well, I saw that this guy Matt Sutter was deciding between Alabama, Ohio State, Ole Miss, and Illinois. So I thought of an idea. I was like, 247, On3, and a few of these people, they do all these watch parties. Let's have Voice College Football do it. And I pitched the idea to Bart, TJ, Chris in a text message, in a group text. Let them know, hey, I've got this idea going where we start doing watch parties for each of our team channels, and we add the recruiting channel. And, Chris added the recruiting channel as well. And he was like, Chris was like, that's gonna be tough. It's like, well, I think it can happen. And so far it's happening. Like, we got this gonna be the first of what we plan to have as many commitment watch parties on the Voice of College Football Network. You will see the Max Sutter commitment watch party here on Ohio State at the Voice College Football. You can also check it out on Alabama at the Voice College Football, Ole Miss, Illinois, and recruiting at the Voice College Football. And Blue Wolverine, don't you worry. There's one for Michigan too, because there's one for Malachi Lee tomorrow night, 7:15 p.m. Eastern time, where the Alabama channel, Michigan channel, Texas, and Georgia channel are all crossing over to give their take on where Malachi Lee commits to. We're getting it revved up.
Yeah.
We're getting it rocking and rolling, because
definitely.
Oh yeah, talk about top-notch debate, discussion, and analysis from the Voice College Football. Well, we put our money where our mouth is. That's the way we do it.
There we go. Oh, Blue Dove. Yeah, see, you already got the notification set. That's what I'm talking about.
Smart man.
I appreciate you guys, man.
There we go. Tell your friends, family, and the cashiers at Publix about the magic that we're all making, all right there on each of the team channels. And for a little bit, I'll be going out filming my little take on Xavier Crowell. But when I get done, I'll be on the Alabama channel and a few other the team channels giving my take. And we'll all be giving our take.
Or you can catch him on the Paul Feinbaum show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can catch him on there.
Yeah, because yesterday I was telling Paul about the history of June 25th, because yesterday was the 238th anniversary that the state of Virginia became the 10th state of the United States of America.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And the 26th anniversary of the Spurs getting their first title, and the 37th edition of Cal Ripken playing in his 1,000th consecutive MLB game.
I would have never known that. I told you, Jackson, you are an encyclopedia, man. Like I think I know a pretty good, decent amount of college football, just sports in general and history. Like I said, I will never forget that man. I love this story. That coach you brought up that you compared to Ryan Day.
Air Persigan.
Yeah. Our Air Persigan. Yeah, but that's like one of my favorite stories to tell. I love that. What do you? By the way, so I don't know if you've been paying attention to Big Ten recruiting at all. Have you?
Some here and there.
I was really impressed over the week with Michigan State.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw college football with Sam talking about that.
Yeah, I was really impressed with them. I've always felt this way, and being being born and raised in the state of Michigan, yeah, I'm a Buckeye fan, but they're like my little brother, right? I love, I hate Michigan, but I love that. I have a soft spot for the Spartans, but I've always believed them to be a top 25 program in college football. They do make top 20 in revenue. And so I always thought, man, there's no reason on a given year where they shouldn't be as good as at least Tennessee, right?
Right.
And but I think that Jonathan Smith, you gotta start somewhere. But I do think if he can find a way to where, like, those teams that Mark D'Antonio had, he had talented guys around the team, but he had a wide receiver, he had a good quarterback, and tough defenses. And I think that if he's able to reciprocate, like to reenact that, and get these guys, these 3-star, couple 4-star kids that bust their arse, want to be Spartans, and he's a good coach he's a program builder. A lot of people can't go to Oregon State and get the 10 wins. I promise you that. But I do think you should be able to get the 10 wins at Michigan State on a given year. So yeah, what do you think about them?
Well, I mean, Jonathan Smith's going to have him rocking and rolling. I mean, I know that there were like one or two people throwing the baby out with the bathwater about 2024 on Coach Smith, but I think he can get those Spartans rocking and rolling over the next few years. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be having them dominate Michigan or anything, but still, though, he's really going to have them rocking and rolling. And who knows, USC may be trying to call him up to go back to the West Coast.
Probably so. And I mean, Rod right here says seems like Sparty's biggest issues are internal leadership, both the athletic department and the university. And that, I do think that gets lost over the last few years. The amount of coaching changes and turmoil that the athletic department and the football program has had. It's really hard to go through all that change that quickly. Mind you, I mean, when Mark D'Antonio left, people forget, maybe some people forget, he left at the worst time possible. I think it was right before signing, like right during signing. Like,
he left. He left a little bit before COVID came out.
Yeah,
and then a little bit after Kobe Bryant died.
Yes, and then you bring in Nasty Man.
Oh yeah, Mel Tucker.
Mel Tucker, and but you do that, but that's a couple of years there, a few years there, and then you gotta switch again. That's not easy for a program to go through, right? So whereas Ohio State, at least before we fire our coaches, we give them at least 8 to 10 years. So they just get fired for different reasons except for football. But
and I think like it was a little bit before February 4th. I recognize where Mark D'Antonio had like a bonus to where if he was still at Michigan State. So he left after he got his bonus. So he's like,
Yeah,
okay,
that
I
was
got
so
my
screwy.
bonus. Bye.
That was so screwy. I remember when he did that. He got that money and he walked out the door. Oh
That's
man,
why I tend to just kind of cringe sometimes, which I mean, I'm kind of being nice sometimes. But when all these people like complain and bitch and moan about like, oh, this player, they just get to do whatever the hell they want. They get to do whatever the hell they want. It's like, okay, well, what about those coaches? Like they're like leaving
exactly.
in the middle of the March. Well, that's different. It's like, yeah, not so.
It's
Okay.
not. It's not. So what do you? I just do have a few questions, and if any of these questions I ask you, interrupt anything you might be doing on the Jacksonian. By the way, everybody, if you haven't seen it yet, go on YouTube right now in a different tab. Type in I'm gonna grab it right now, actually. But look up the Jacksonian or Jackson Johnson here. Various people from various programs he has on that show that talk there. I've been on there once. It was an awesome conversation. I loved. We could have talked for a very long time. But let me pull the link here. But no, everyone check out the Jacksonian, really good there. But if any questions I ask Jackson, let me know if I'm like interrupting anything. But what are your views right now? I'm not sure if you caught anything, but like with Larry Johnson and how the Ohio State fan base feels about him.
Ooh. I'm kind of like, who knows with Larry Johnson? Like, I wonder how long he's going to be there.
Yeah, it's So I had actually I think you'll enjoy hearing this because I think it goes for a deeper conversation just in terms of how programs are made but I was very harsh on him, but I had a conversation with my guy Top Flight Boog. And what we talked about was how at the age of 73, you can't be asking Larry to go around taking flights and then driving to go see recruits and calling them all the time and texting them, right? You can't. That's what you have assistants for. And we had Alan Clark, who is now the defensive end coach at Texas, and that would be his job. And if you go on and right now, Larry Johnson is the sole D-line and edge coach. And after the championship, we went out and paid a lot of guys, made a lot of got a lot of new assistants for different positions like O-line and but at the same time, man, I wondered to myself, and this was brought up, what every school has a GM, and it's gotten to the point where I think that for Ohio State, the reason that the defensive tackle recruiting has veered off is because of the operation of the program, right?
Right.
And I think that the time and money that we allocate towards things like wide receiver, which don't get me wrong, I'm happy about and I love it, but some of that has to be given to the all defensive line. So, what do you think about that?
I think we're going to have to wait and see what happens for Ohio State. Like I think they're going to be fine, but like some of the universities, we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out for sure. I mean, because like because like you were talking about general managers a little while ago. I think we're going to see how this works out for the University of Stanford, because it's like you didn't hear anything about like the athletic director. You heard about Andrew Luck making the call on that. And he was like, I'm going to get my old buddy Frank Wright to be the interim coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, honestly, that's going to work out nicely. Because, I mean, you look back at past analysts from the 1980s, the 90s. They warned everybody, don't underestimate Frank Reich. Never do that. And I hope Stanford can pull off a few upsets this season. I don't think they will, but I'll be pulling for them all the way, especially with Frank Reich. I mean, he dealt with moron David Tepper, and I'm not going to say anything bad about Jim Irsay because he's been dead quite a while. So I mean, but when the full year's up, then I'll go back to talking bad about Jim Irsay. Meantime, I'm just going to talk about. I'm just going to talk about. I'm just going to talk about what a butthole David Zaslav is and how bad he is with Warner Brothers. I mean, he ain't dead, so I can talk about him.
Right. No, first off, with Stanford and Andrew Luck, I do think that was one of the most underrated moves in college football. Stanford has proven time and time again with the right leadership, they can be a threat.
Oh yeah.
And they are now in the ACC.
Yeah,
and
I know, right? You're like ACC.
Yeah. So I was like, man, I don't know. I said that the Big 12. I mean, the Big 12 would make more sense, to be honest with you. But but them being in the ACC, you know, you got Clemson, you got Miami. There's a lot of buzz around Syracuse, which I gotta see it for a second year. But after that, man, you know, it's a crapshoot. You know, Virginia Tech, who knows if they come back. Shoot, man. Who else? In North Carolina, we'll see what happens with them over there if they even have a coach by the time the football season even starts.
Belichick will be fine. I think by that time you're not going to be hearing about Jordan this, Jordan that.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be hearing about Bill Belichick's coaching job in Chapel
right.
Hill.
And at the end of the day, like this is how I feel about it. Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick. So you got, I have to see him do bad before I believe he will.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude has the resting bitch face. So I mean, he'll be fine.
But I know I think that Stanford's in a really good situation here over the next few years, and also, I mean, you look at this. I mean, we've seen in the Big Ten just what happens when you got like how hard it is to go coast to coast and play those games. And yeah, Stanford might have to go out to the East Coast a few times, but then some teams got to come out to California now, don't they? So
yeah, like, that's the thing with like USC, for example. Like they're sitting there having their venting sessions about why do we have to go to Notre Dame? Why do we have to go to Indiana, Purdue? That's all Notre Dame's fault. Like, okay, you should have talked about this with the Big Ten commissioner and just been like, the weeks that you have to play Notre Dame, when you have to go to Indiana in the odd number years, you go to Indiana or Purdue the week before or the week after. Problem solved. That goes the same way for the week before rivalry week in the even number years. Yeah, like have Indiana, Purdue like as your little home games for November.
Then something else that popped up today. Oh my gosh. Oh man. So friend of the network, Steve Deese. So he posted something at Bobby. So this isn't really about Steve. Let me point this out, because I don't want this to seem like I'm bashing Steve. This is not his fault for him, because he's just regurgitating what a Buckeye said. That's all that's happening. So Bobby Carpenter. Oh, Bobby. So he says, let me find this here. Where did I put it? Oh, man.
Sounds like it would be pretty cool to see if we can somehow get like Bill Maher on Real Time to get like Bobby Carpenter and Steve Deese to debate one another before he does like his little new rule segment.
On the what was it what's the show called, the Random Show or something, the Random Podcast, something like that?
Club Random. That's been on since April 2022. Real Time with Bill Maher has been on since 2003 on HBO, and
I love Real
that.
Time with Bill Maher.
That was a little bit after he got fired by ABC from the Politically Incorrect show, which that's another time. That's another story for another day.
Yeah,
I won't on the.
I actually really do enjoy his shows, but he brought up about how Bobby Carpenter came out, man. And he had some words about, he said he had been to some of the practices. And here we go. I had it in my bookmarks. So he says, I went to 12 or 13 spring practices and I couldn't tell you who our starting quarterback will be. It was that close between Julian and Lincoln. Some days they were great, and some days Ryan Day probably wondered why he recruited them. So for me, right, personally, I'm not going to take anything from a linebacker. And like, and Bobby was one of the greatest linebackers ever play at Ohio State. Love him. Like when I was a kid, Jackson, I had the Sports Illustrated magazine that had him, Anthony Schlegel, and AJ Hawk on the cover doing this. But he's also the same guy who said Cal McCord should have started over CJ Stroud. And so I do, and Ryan Day, a lot of people don't know this. Ryan Day has never named a starting quarterback before the fall. Never done it. So yeah, do I believe they probably have some bad days? Yes. Do I believe Ryan Day is sitting there thinking to himself, why did I get Julian Sand? No. And the reason I know that is because Nick Saban wanted Julian Sand with his whole heart. So what do you think about that, knowing that you're a Bama fan and you know about Julian Sand?
Well, I wish saying a lot of luck. I mean, because it's like, sad he didn't go to Bama, but at least he didn't go to Auburn, Tennessee, or better yet, go play for Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at least he's going to be going someplace to win. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
he's not playing for Brian Kelly where it's just some old man trying
Whoa,
to.
wait a second, Jackson.
Jackson,
wait a second. This, sir, is a Brian Kelly safe zone. He is the greatest D2 coach of all time. Shout out to my guys in the Lakers of Grand Valley State University. I'm sure you know about their program.
Yeah.
It is funny, Jackson, that I mean we can probably get to the weeds about this. That in the state of Michigan, there's not a lot of talent in the state. Michigan and Michigan State, Michigan just won a national championship, but Michigan State fluctuates up and down. But the state of Michigan, in terms of D2 football, is very elite. Like you got them, Bear State, one that went back-to-back national champions. Their quarterback now at Ole Miss. Wayne State was really good a few years ago. Davenport University, they just created their football program. I think they created the program when I was a sophomore in college, and we beat them like 60-0. They're now a top 25 program. And so, but yeah, there will be. I know it, Jackson. You are RTR. You are a Bama fan through and through. There will be no Brian Kelly slander on this show. I take it enough from Ryan, and I refuse to take it from you. Oh no, oh no.
I always slander on Brian Kelly because he doesn't win the big games in the postseason. I do this to any coach in general that can't quite get it done in the big games in the postseason. So it's like,
yeah, it's tough, man. Like, and what I am interested to see this year from Brian Kelly is that I've maintained this theory for a very long time, and I've seen him coach at Cincinnati. I saw him coach at Notre Dame, and winning at Notre Dame ain't easy. That is not an easy place to win. But I do. What's going on, Sage? Good to see you in here, buddy. But I've always maintained that if you give Brian Kelly the same talent that these other coaches have, like a Dabo Sweeney, I think you see and this is why this year I really want to see what they do. Like I've tried to stay away from saying national championship or bust, because on any given year, I believe there are a number of teams that can win the national championship, and somebody's got to win, But I think this is the year where I have LSU winning the Big Ten. I mean the SEC. So it's between them or Texas for me this season. Now, I know for Georgia fans or Bama fans, that may be hard to hear. Jackson, I will tell you, Jackson, respectfully today, I will not tell you what I think about Bama today.
Okay.
But I will say I got to see something.
Okay. That's fair.
But I think Nuss is really good. I really do. And I think that Brian Kelly, man, he's a great dancer. That's terrible, Rod. That's terrible.
He's not wrong.
That's crazy. That was probably some of the most awkward crap I've ever seen in my life.
Oh man.
Oh man.
But he will have to lead LSU to a playoff victory. Like I
Yes.
think if he could get LSU to at least the semifinals,
Mm-hmm.
The lack of victory in big games in the postseason, that will quiet down some. Not a whole lot, but some.
It gives you some grace. Gives you a grace period, and but you got to do it right. And again, like Sage here starting off with Clemson, that game is going to be so nice to watch. That week one, it's probably going to be one of the better week ones we've seen in a long time. You guys have Florida State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, do I believe Florida State is going to be a good team this year? I don't know. Would I bet on it? No. But I do love seeing
Thomas Castellano thinks he is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you made your little friend Tarkenton play to start off 2023 on the AC network.
Look, man, I listen. I know way back in the day, Seminoles may have had peyote, but he needs to stay off that stuff. I'm really interested though. Like, I love seeing big time programs from the get go. Like Florida State at the end of the day is a big time program who also has the best chant in college football and the best entrance. But then you got LSU, Clemson. Who do you have in that game?
I'm leaning towards Clemson on that one.
I'm right with you. Now LSU is gonna have. I'm really interested to see LSU's offensive line against Clemson's defensive line. I think that's gonna be a matchup to behold. I do think coming into the season, the two best quarterbacks in the nation are in this game. Okay, Klubnik and Nussmeier. And honestly, I think this is Dabo's best team since his national championship. So we'll see what happens. I think there's a lot of teams here who have a chance. Let me see. Oh, what? Clemson plus Matt? Oh, what's up, Matthew? He says Clemson plus 1,200. Oh, that's a good bet. That's a good bet. Matthew, what's Texas right now? I want to know that.
I know Matthew. I saw Matthew yesterday. He got in a scuffle with someone where he's not too crazy about Arch Manning getting overhyped.
He is overhyped.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Okay. Let me 1 second. So this is the truth of the matter. Can Arch Manning be a really good football player? Yes. Do I believe he's a really good football player? Yes. But if you're gonna sit here with some bull crap and tell me because of his bloodline he's gonna be the guy, mind you, he ain't Eli's, he ain't Peyton's. So and then they act like they hold him up as if he's DJ Lagway. He is not that. Arch Manning is not some generational talent. He is a very talented quarterback who has a chance to be better. That's what he is. He ain't. He's Cade. He's Cade Klubnik. That's why I don't know if he's Cade Klubnik. I just got to see it first, and I think that a lot of Texas fans are doing what Michigan fans are doing with Bryce Underwood. When you are doing your quarterback a disservice. Like with Steve Deese when he said that he believes that after this season, Bryce Underwood is going to be. He said that at the end of this upcoming season, Jackson, the conversation will be if Bryce Underwood would go number 1 in this upcoming draft after his freshman year. Huh? I just, and Julian is saying, hey, listen, did I say he's going to throw 35 plus touchdowns? Yep. Did I say he's going to throw 70% this season? Yep. Did I say he's going to throw 4,000 yards? Yep. But I ain't going out here saying he's about to be better than CJ Stroud. I'm not. You know, and again, like, and you know, Matthew says he has him as the 4th best quarterback in the SEC, and that's really good. The SEC, like I think the Big Ten this upcoming. I think right now the SEC has better quarter. No, I think the Big Ten has better quarterbacks this season. Actually,
I feel like Florida is really going to be thinking about Texas going in. Sorry, Matthew. That's one of my predictions at the moment. I've got the Gators beating Texas. I feel like they end that losing streak to Georgia this year.
oh, I do. Thank you, Jackson. I have that too.
Well, Mike Bobo sucks as an offensive coordinator, so I mean, it's like there you go.
Well,
and and Florida is obviously going to keep the winning streak in Gainesville going against the Tennessee Volunteers. So I mean, Tennessee's always falling apart. So I mean, it's I won't talk too much trash about the Vols because I mean, we got some good guys at the Tennessee channel for the Voice College Football Network. So it's like they're good dudes.
I really, 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 oh, I lost my train of thought. What were you just talking about, Jackson?
I was talking about the Florida Gators. Where
thank you. All right, so I had Florida going 9-3. I think I have them in my dark horse playoff teams. I have them going between 8-4 and like if a dark horse team for me is someone that can finish between 8-4 or 10-2, and I think they can do that this season. About 2 months ago, I did call my shot. I do have Florida beating Georgia this season. And when you go through when you go through the Florida schedule, it is hard to pick out the games. It is hard. Like they go to Kyle Field in the games at night. You know, it's hard. But this is the theory I have, Jackson, and I don't think I've shared this with you. So I think it like we gotta get going soon, everybody, because Jackson and I do have a joint show to do. So I'll share it again right here, everybody. At 8:45, Jackson, or what time are we?
7:30 p.m. Central Time,
Okay.
8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But before I get that little show rocking and rolling, I'll be filming my Xavier Crowell takes on his commit to the Alabama Crimson Tide. I believe he's the 12th commit for Alabama as of today.
That's a really good pickup for you guys. But so this is the theory I have about DJ Lagway. I think there's a really good chance
you got
this season.
StreamYard. You got the StreamYard link.
Oh, that's it. Oh, that's the StreamYard?
Yeah, you put out the StreamYard in the chat.
Oh, I thought I put in the. Oh, thank you, buddy. But I think that I think DJ Lagway is one of those players like a Cam Newton, a Vince Young, a Tim Tebow. Even though Tebow's teams are insanely talented, but I think that he's one of those guys that he's so damn good. It doesn't matter if your team is better than his. He's probably going to win the game. And I think there's going to be a lot of games this season where despite the talent, even though Florida's going to have one of the best run games in college football this season, which is what you want for a young quarterback, especially one with his shoulder problem. I think the defense will get better this season for them also. And yes, you are dealing with a buffoon for a head coach in Billy Napier. But I think that DJ Lagway might be so not good. I think he might be so great that he compensates for all of that. And we get those type of players. Every so often we get those type of players. And I don't think we've had one of those in a very long time. I think he could be that guy.
There we go. Lagway's going to be making magic all over the place. I am so excited to see what he's going to create. I'm glad he's not going against Bama, though.
But I will tell you this, though. I think if DJ Lagway, because did they take away the rule about transferring within the conference?
I don't think so, but I'll have to double check the rule changes.
Because if they did, I'll tell you what. If I was Texas A&M and Florida sucks this year, I'm giving him a call.
There you go.
If I'm Texas A&M, I'm giving him a call, and I'm telling him I'll name the stadium after him if he comes there.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, man.
Well, I'll be getting off here.
Mhm.
Be doing a little filming. I'll be seeing you in a bit, Garrison. Tell your
See you
friends and
soon, man.
family and the cashiers at Kroger about the magic that Garrison brings on the Ohio State Primetime Live Show and the call-in show where he takes your calls Thursday night. And also check out the 325th edition of Buckeyes Live, where we mark it as the return of Kevin Noon for the first time
Yeah.
since April 24th, 2024, as he returns for good, doing Buckeyes Live with Mark Rogers, Steve Hellwagon, and Tony Girdman. Let's be honest, though. It's fun watching Mark, Steve, and Tony, but it didn't feel the same without Kevin Noon.
Dude, it was so much fun watching that. It was. And the cool thing was, like, I didn't know Kevin was gonna show up today. Or on Wednesday. I had no idea. I was like, oh, this is a treat.
Well, I made sure to put out the little welcome back mat for him. So, I mean, he may be the king of memes, but
oh yeah,
I hope I'll meet him at some point, like on air, just be like, you got me down at memes, but I'll tell you how I do my magic with the dates.
Shoot, Jackson, man. I'll see you soon, brother.
Roll Tide and OH.
Ayo. Well, everybody, again, thank you for showing up today. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for being part of the show. Again, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Again, if you want to become a member, that'd be awesome. But the only currency we truly do ask out of you is that you like, subscribe, and share the channel with everyone, whether they be friends, family, or foes. Also, we do have other channels here at the Voice of College Football, whether it be Clemson, Bama, or Jackson leads, and other places like we just got North Carolina too. So you have family members that are fans of those, or friends that are, bring them to the Voice of College Football, where we have everything you need. Again, we talk here, but the Voice of College Football is you guys, and we truly do appreciate you being a part of this channel, being a part of this program, and bringing your takes here. Again, thank you, and as always, OH, ayo.